Well, hello there, everyone. It's 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. I don't know what time it is if you're not there at Eastern Time, but here I am ready for another weekly Q&A. I'm going to be doing these, trying to do these every Saturday at this time. So you can tune in every week and we can have some discussion. All right. But before I start, I'm going to say something that I'm probably going to be repeating a few times during this stream, and that's the fact that next Saturday, when I do this, it's going to be Paul McCartney's 80th birthday. So, how am I going to handle Paul McCartney's 80th birthday? Well, one of two ways I'm thinking right now. Either I'm going to come on here by myself and I'll do a show for Paul, kind of a Q&A thing alone, or I was thinking of maybe opening it up to some of my Beatles friends and we can come on and do a kind of Hollywood Squares, Brady Bunch type of affair. So we'll see how it goes. All right, everybody. I see Woodland Goblin, his name is here, and all he says is first. I'll let that slide, Woodland, because it's you. I usually, it's not that one of the things that are really annoying, I mean, I guess you could use this if you want to get at me, but when people say first, in a video, nothing wrong with being first in a live chat, but when it's a video comment, never could understand that. So we got Karen Brayjack here. Hello, Karen. Thank you for coming. Let's see. And Woodland will come up with pizza and beer next Saturday. Well, I'm not having it, so, or at least not every day anyway. Let's put it that way. Hello, Starman Brinley. Hello, Beans, and hello, Raymond. Well, okay, so this is, after all, a Q&A, and I know that when you do this every single week, sometimes I do it more than just once a week. I do those impromptu chats, so when I do the impromptu chats, people come around and such. Let's see. Walter Z Jr., Dave the pickup artist, Emily says, "Hi, I hope your day has been great. It's been a pretty good day." Yeah, thank you for asking. Now, let's go for some questions. All right, Zach says, "Glad to finally make it to a Q&A." Okay, Raymond asked me, "How was Ringo?" Well, Ringo was fantastic. I do have a video up. You may or may not have seen it. A video where I go to two videos. Don't get them confused. One of them is when I actually go with my friend Robert S. into Manhattan, and you see us go to the Dakota where John Lennon lived, and to Strawberry Fields, and then we go to the show. And then I got a video just where you just see the show itself. So not the whole show, but just highlights, as I like to call it. Okay. So yeah, the show was great. Ringo was in great form. You would never think the man's going to be 82 just a few weeks. You would never think. It's 11 p.m. Robert Olson, 11 p.m. in Scandinavia. Okay. Well, that's another reason I wanted to come on here 5 p.m. I figured if you go forward, it could be like, it could be like 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock p.m. or something like that. And Rob Obscure Music, Robert S. says, don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, the like button is very important. Please hit the like button. It supports me and helps with the YouTube algorithms. And if you want to hit the support button below, as Robert suggests, of course, I appreciate that too. Yeah, glad you got to see Ringo before it's already over. Yeah, we might as well just mention on here. I just did a video. We found out that Ringo had 12 tour dates left, but unfortunately, he has to postpone the tour to the fall. That's what they're saying right now because two members of the All Star band, Edgar Winter and Steve Lukather, contracted COVID. So I was lucky. Robert S. and I were lucky to be able to see the band before this happened. Well, actually, Edgar Winter was not there at the show we did. He came down with COVID first, and they went on without him for a couple of shows. And then when Steve Lukather came down with COVID, then it was like, okay, we have to pull the plug right now. And they say they're going to continue, and you're going to get to see him. Those who got disappointed will be able to see him in September. All right. So let's see. Okay, Mr. Blood Vessel. Tomorrow is the 50th anniversary of the first screening of Deep Throat. Will you be doing a live stream? I don't know, Mr. Blood Vessel. Is that an offer? I usually don't go for that, but Mr. Blood Vessel, I know him personally. He's a comedian, so I let him get away with it. So let's see. Yes, Zach, I like the song "Down Under" by Men at Work. Colin Hay sings it. I like it very much. Not only is it a good song, but reminds me of those early '80s during that period when I was enjoying the music of '82 and '83 and '84 around there. All those years. Excuse me, the allergies are kicking in today, folks. So I'll do the best I can. And yeah, Down Under is fantastic. And Business as Usual by Men at Work is one of your favorite '80s albums. I just picked that up, the whole album. Would you have thought 20 years ago these ticket prices? Amazing, the stadiums are packed and people are paying. Everything goes up. It's just the way of the world, unfortunately. Either you go or you don't. Okay, question from Karen. If you could only purchase one more thing to complete your collection, what would it be? Is there something you have never been able to find? Well, there's a few things I haven't been able to find, but whenever this question's asked, I usually pick what's called the portrait cover. It's a VJ LP from '64. The Beatles and Frank Ifield on stage, and there are two different covers. One of them has them in their gray collarless suits from like '63, I think it is, and that's the one I really want. There are a lot of counterfeits going around to that, but I want to get the real McCoy. Just a young Beatles fan says I was gonna go June 24th. I don't mind waiting a few more months. I just want to see them. Hopefully that'll work out just fine for you. I hope so. Absolutely. Okay. And Woodland Goblin has had sinus pressure for a week now. Yeah, it's sinus. It's just I get the cough in here, down in here, and there's like a little bit of stuff that kind of like gathers. Hate that, but it's usually this time of year worse. So everybody, here we are. What is on your mind this afternoon? Huh? Okay. We got a good amount of people here, about 65 people here now. Please hit the like button. Anybody that has not, I would appreciate that would help the channel. Um, and what we need are questions. Yes, this is the villain named Zod on my Superman 3 on my shirt. That's a good point. Yeah, this doesn't look doesn't look exactly like Ringo. What? Okay. Who was your most favorite celebrity to meet? I met a lot of celebrities. I'm a fan of music and movies. I'm trying to think. There's so many, but I want to pick the right one. Well, movie wise, I'm a big fan of Charlton Heston, his films, and I like the fact that I grew up with him, and he does so many movies I like: Planet of the Apes, The Omega Man, Soylent Green, Ben Hur, Touch of Evil. He could play all kinds of parts. And he's very versatile. So I got to meet him more than once, and that probably is my favorite. But then again, right there is Joan Jett because became a big fan of Joan Jett in 1982, and I met her. I don't know, at least 4 times maybe. I lost count right now, but, it was really, really good. Okay. Hello, Paulina. How are you on this great Saturday? Aloha. Doing great. Hope you are too, Paulina. Who was the rudest celebrity you met? Okay. There are a couple of them. The first one that comes to mind is Uma Thurman. The story is that when the movie Pulp Fiction came out, you know, everybody was riding high. John Travolta again. John Travolta is very nice, by the way. I observed him signing autographs of people, and he was very, very, very cool. Uma Thurman, she was in a limousine, and the limousine was parked. And this was at the David Letterman show. And back in those days, in the '90s, I used to try to get autographs, and I had like a photo of Uma Thurman. And I went over and I said, Uma, may I have your autograph? And she was in the back seat. Back seat. They had a little mini bar in there. Rich people. They had like food in there, and she was eating the food, sampling the food. She's looking at the picture, and she goes, "No, I don't think so. I don't like that picture." And a friend of hers said, "Oh, come on, sign it for the guy." She had like a girlfriend there of hers or something. She goes, "Nah, I don't like it like that, like being difficult." And I thought that was really stupid. But on the other hand, a really sweet celebrity that I met was another woman who was very nice. Was Sarah Jessica Parker was a sweetheart. Another rude celebrity was I didn't really care too much for her. I'm drawing a blank now. Oh my goodness. Oh, Janet Leigh, Psycho. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? When I'm eating ice cream, which I'm not really right now, it's chocolate, I suppose. I like mint chip also. Uh, let's see. Yeah, Heston had a great sci-fi run in the '60s and into the '70s. So everybody, what's on your so-called minds, huh? Let's go. Uh, we have about an hour together. So, and I'm hoping that this time is all right with everybody. I mean, I'm sure, as I've said before, that not everybody's going to be able to make it this time, 5 p.m. Eastern. I figured it gives the people in Europe to like, it's like 10 p.m. there, 11 p.m. And then people on the West Coast, different times they're behind, over there it's maybe 1 o'clock or something like that. So, well, people ask me, Starman, occasionally, what's the most valuable item in your collection? And I don't know. I mean, would you say that Uber box is George Harrison Uber box is still worth that much money? Like that it went for like $1,000 bucks? I don't know, if it's worth that or not. But nothing that I have, I don't think is super valuable on its own. I do have Paul McCartney's autograph, which I suppose is pretty good. That's certainly valuable to me as far as personally is concerned, you know. So, by the way, another thing I'm going to do from time to time is I have this little notebook. Yes, I still go the old way, and I have a red one because YouTube is red. And this is an ideas book. So, if anybody ever wants to come up with ideas for YouTube videos, I can't promise you I'm going to write them all down. No offense, but if I like an idea, I may write it down. It helps me remember. Hello to Christian Doll. Do I have any Circle albums? I don't believe I do. Did you ever see Tommy John James in concert? Yes, I did in 1988. But I saw Tommy James not by himself, but as a kind of a reunion tour of sorts. In 1988, we had it was basically the Rascals tour, and you had the Rascals, and you had Tommy James, you had John Sebastian from the Loving Spoonful, but I don't remember who else at this time. I don't know if Donovan was there or not, but I remember those three were there, I like a lot of Tommy James stuff. Hey, what did I think of Birth of the Beatles? Well, Birth of the Beatles came out in 1979. It was okay. I mean, not nothing great. Nothing. I don't even know if it's good. But these days, when you look at all the Beatles stuff, as far as movies come about the Beatles as a group or solo, uh, when you look at the whole shebang, Birth of the Beatles is not that bad anymore. But like everything else, it's inaccurate. There's inaccuracies and stuff in there. Is that an official Ringo T-shirt? The answer is no. I do have an official one, by the way. This one is not really official, but I do have one. I bought one at the concert. Okay. What's one of my holy grail items? I wish I could get it down from where it is. I do have kind of a spyglass, Ringo's rotogravure, kind of a spyglass. They supposedly they came with the album Ringo's Rotogravure originally, but nobody had ever really got them. They're really rare. And if my friend Elliot gave me his, it's one of those little on the cover of Ringo's album. He's holding a little magnifying glass, and that's pretty rare. Am I picking anything up on Record Store Day next Saturday? Well, the only thing that I know of is the Women and Wives, which I hope is still coming out. Right? Is it 12-inch version of McCartney's Women and Wives, a special 12-inch single? And I have to look at the list to see if there's anything else. I'm a little behind on that, so I don't really know what's coming out. Okay, Zach would like to see a video of me going over my favorite AM 70s hits. It can be done in a Fab Gab format and have people comment and give their favorites. Well, Fab Gab is about the Beatles, but I'll write it down as a possibility, Zach. I say that because I did do a video, I think. Nah, it wasn't really exactly what you're looking for, I guess. But it was like the video was something about like what's so bad about commercial music, that kind of thing. So it really wasn't a list, but that's a good topic. Like I think you've mentioned that to me before. Rick, hello, Rick. Have you completed your Tom Petty collection? Are you getting all his studio recordings? I'm going to try to do that. I don't have everything yet, but mainly I'm trying to get everything on vinyl. But I go back and forth because right now I happen to be in a moment again where I'm thinking I don't want to be buying a lot of vinyl, a lot of non-Beatle related vinyl again. Hey, I just go with the flow. That's what I do. I do what makes me happy at the moment. That's it. you know. Yeah, but I would like to get all the Petty stuff. I like them enough that I like to get it all, whether it's all vinyl, half CD and half vinyl, or whatever. How do you feel about the band? Yes, I don't know everything by Yes, but based on some of the things that I've heard, I'm not wild about Yes at all. Uh, and I like Owner of a Lonely Heart, but that's not indicative of their, I guess, finest hour. So Martin Norris says, "Hi, yeah, I saw a report of Ringo's band getting COVID as he got COVID. So far, we only know of two members who have the COVID in the band. One of them is Edgar Winter, and the other one is Steve Lukather. We don't really know about anybody else, and I hope Ringo doesn't come down with it. And another thing I was thinking is, I'm supposed to see Paul McCartney this coming Thursday of next week on June 16th. And I was thinking that maybe, possibly, since Ringo's off that day and he's kind of close by, I think he's in Baltimore the day before, and I'm going to New Jersey, he could actually, fly there or take a quick car ride and join Paul for Paul's 80th birthday bash. So I'm kind of hoping that Ringo maybe gets tested for COVID and gets a negative test and that he's able to appear. But like I said, if Ringo doesn't appear, that's just icing on the cake. Ringo being there, I'm going there to see Paul. Period. But it'd be nice if Ringo was there. Okay, there's a Kinks Waterloo Sunset. That's a good song. 12-inch EP. Yeah, this has happened to me too. You say you just listened to Ringo's Roto Gravure and you actually enjoyed it more than before. That's the same with me. I like it much more than I used to the last couple of times that I've played it. Okay, Paulina says, I think there's going to be a Susie Quattro vinyl coming out for Record Store Day too. She did a post on her, I don't know what Instagram is it, holding the record. Yeah, she's had stuff out before. I know I bought a live album on Record Store Day of her. Will it be hard to pick up the Women and Wives record? In my case, it wouldn't be probably, but some people it may be. I don't think it's going to be difficult though. Zach says a lot of people seem to put down the bubblegum type songs of that 70s period that we were talking about. I don't know why. Me either. I mean, people think, oh, it's silly, it's too simple, it's not challenging. When people say that it's not that challenging, and it's too simple and everything, and there's nothing to a typical like pop AM 70s type song, I always say, well, let's see you write a hit song. I don't think it's that easy to write a hit song, you know. Why would Ringo be in Baltimore the day before Paul's concert? Because gee, well, that's the thing, yeah. Well, that's part of it. That was you see the good question about that now because that was going to be when he's touring. The All Star Band would be in Baltimore the day before Paul's concert, but now that the tour's canceled, I don't know where Ringo's going to be. So, Doc Docus, what's the good word? Lost in New York. Yeah, my video. I'm glad you had fun with it. Let's see. Marcus says, Joe, I didn't foresee Ringo making an appearance for Paul's birthday concert prior to this COVID thing, and certainly not now. Well, the reason I thought he would is because, don't forget, when Ringo had his 70th birthday bash, uh, way back now, I forget, I can't think of the year, in 2010 at Radio City Music Hall, Paul showed up, you know. So I think it would return the favor, you know. It makes perfect sense to me. It might even the fact that he's not playing that day too is originally our all-star band before the COVID thing. Uh, they were not scheduled to play the same day that Paul's playing. That's kind of interesting. Uh, okay, what the Jim? Jim says he's recovering from COVID, improving though. Good. I'm sure you will, Jim. Keep it up. Okay, why are the Beatles such a big thing in your opinion? Not only their collective records, but overall speaking. It's hard to explain it. I mean, the music, first of all, the music is great, some of the greatest music of all time. Almost everything they did is top notch. Their music goes from good to great. There's very little bad stuff in there or anything not so good. It's either good or great. So you got a pretty consistent catalog there. And the music is mostly upbeat and make feel good type of music that people like to hear, and it kind of like transcends generations, whereas new generations, new young people continue to like the Beatles and find them, people from today like them too, young people. The music is very important to them even now. And then you get, to me, I think the four characters, the four people, the Beatles, each one of them has such a unique personality. John, Paul, George, and Ringo. There's something for everybody. They're all funny. They all have a good sense of humor. They're, they're witty, and there's something for everybody. You know, and if you don't, if you don't like John, Paul, or George, everybody has a different taste. That's the best I could do in a quick minute or so. Yeah, I'm with you, Christian. I think there's a very good chance we're going to see Ringo because, like I said, we don't know for sure, but like I said, Paul went to Ringo's 70th birthday bash. So I could see Ringo going to Paul's 80th, and there was no tour date scheduled for that particular day, and Ringo's going to be only a few hours. I don't know if it's 3 or 4 hours away, something like that. I don't know. What's my biggest Beatle find? I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe the time, I don't know if this qualifies, but when there was a place in New Jersey, Princeton Record Exchange, and they had got 1,000 Beatles and solo Beatles related records in, and I went there, and I think I came home with 52 or 53 records or something like that. Hi Dave. Yes, I do collect the Beatles in mono. Some things I like mono with, and some I prefer the stereo. Depends what it is. Okay, Emily says, I found your channel right after I got into the Beatles a few years ago. Just wanted to say thank you for teaching me so much about them. You're welcome, and thank you for being a fan. I mean, the Beatles need people to carry the torch, so to speak. And of course, Doctor simply puts, because they were unequaled. That's that's making it pretty simple, saying it. Hey Joe, are you ever going to put the Planet of the Apes bust back up on the shelf behind you? Oh, you mean, hold on, you're talking about this. Right now I can't get over there. You see, there's all kinds of stuff in the way. I can't really get over to there. Yeah, this is actually a set of movies. The movies and television series and cartoon series are in here behind. This is like this are all the movies. This is the design that came out. But I'd like to put it there, back there, yeah, just to get it out of the way. But actually, the whole idea, what I really want to do, is I want to get all that stuff, say, from this side down, out, take it all and put it in the closet. I want to make Beatles. I want to make the whole thing Beatles related. So that's really what the goal was, but I haven't gotten to that either. So at least there's a lot of things to do. Keep you busy. The Ringo Rotogravure spyglass, was it for reading, writing on the door? Yeah, I think they did that as a gimmick to kind of read the writing on the back door. On the back of the album cover, Rotogravure, they have a door with writings on it. I think that was the idea. Yeah, Tom Hunyadi. Hello, Tom. Tom says Ringo will probably be isolating himself the next 10 days since two members of the All Star band come up COVID positive. Well, my thought is I'm sure he'll be trying to isolate himself. This is another thing is, the fact that they stopped the tour also, which they should have. It's a smart idea, but the idea is too maybe he wants to like hold it together and rest up and stay isolate himself till Thursday of next week and take a COVID test the day of or the day before. If Ringo takes feels good and doesn't have COVID on Wednesday, Thursday morning, maybe he'll show up. Maybe that's another reason. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but okay. Thanks for the answer about the Beatles. What's great about them, but don't you have a different kind of feeling when you listen to the solo albums? Is it kind of the same or totally different? Well, I'd say it's different, but it's enjoyable nonetheless. What I like about the Beatles so much is if you're into the solo music too, there's a lot of good solo music, a lot of great solo music. In my opinion, unlike with the Beatles, where I said the Beatles music all goes, in my opinion, from good to great. Solo music can go from poor to great, average to great. But there's some real gems in there, what I like is you can continue with the Beatles' careers after they break up. You enjoy the Beatles together as a group, which is terrific. But then after they break up, now you go, okay, now you got four separate roads. John goes down that road, Paul goes down that road, George and Ringo go down their roads. So you actually have four different avenues to pursue, and most of it is well worth checking out. And Paulina says I can do an entire video on why the Beatles are the important band in the world. How about a top 10 psychedelic fab tracks video? I'll write that down, Dave. I think I will. 'Cause I'm gonna need ideas. So, um, top. All righty. I agree with you, Doc. I absolutely despised the Planet of the Apes cartoon series. I hated it when I was a child, and I don't like it at all even now. On the other hand, I do like the television series, the live action television series. That I didn't like as a kid, but I came to appreciate the live action series later. Okay. Hi, Dave again. Curious if you warmed up to the McCartney 3 tracks that you did initially love, like Deep, Deep Feeling. Yes, indeed. That's the only thing. When you make an early review video like that, with repeated plays, you could change your mind. I now enjoy Deep, Deep Feeling. I wouldn't say it's among my favorite tracks on McCartney 3, but I do like it. I like the different moods and shifts in tone and the feeling. It's a kind of track you got to just listen to and relax and let it take you places. So I do like that. Um, but the only track I don't care for on the album is Deep Down. Not to get mixed up with Deep Deep Feeling, but Deep Down. So, but yeah, definitely. I really like McCartney 3 as an album. Good evening, James. I'm glad you enjoyed the Ringo concert video. Thanks very much. Okay. Okay, folks, we're a half hour in. I'm just going to remind people that if you like it, could make a support pledge for the channel. If you'd like to, you can do that below. And I mentioned it and again. It's not required. It's not necessary. It's not, but no use uh, resisting asking. Okay, top 10 most innovative Beatles tracks. I'll write that down as well. I can't say that I'm going to do all of these, but I'll have them down. All right. Who is your favorite actor to play Batman? That's a really good question. Well, right now I like Adam West. Are you surprised? I like the old Adam West series, and he's my favorite Batman. But let's forget about the 1960s campy TV series, and let's just look at the movies. I actually, back in 1989, I really didn't like the idea, as most people didn't. We couldn't understand how Michael Keaton could be Batman. And I think he did a great job. I like Michael Keaton as Batman. Then later on, I thought some of the actors they picked were probably the good physically. Like, I think that Val Kilmer uh, looks the part of Bruce Wayne and Batman, and I think that if I remember all these guys, um, help me out here. Oh, George Clooney. You know, George Clooney. Of course, nobody likes that movie, that stupid movie, Batman and Robin. But I thought George Clooney even was a good idea to play Batman. But I don't like Christian Bale. I know everybody's going to hate me for that. Christian Bale, I bailed out after that. I don't really follow Batman anymore. I have not seen the new Batman because Christian Bale, I just didn't like all that really tough. whispering. You know, I didn't like that. So I'm gonna go with Adam West and Michael Keaton. Do I like Oasis? I don't know anything by Oasis, and I don't care really about Oasis. All I know is that after a while they started getting full of themselves and thought they were better than the Beatles, or thought they were like the Beatles, and all this kind of stuff, and that kind of thing. That's all I know. Oh, Pat, this is what I do. You say you enjoy Revolution 9 when you listen to the White Album, but you never go out of your way to listen to it. That's the same with me. When I listen to the White Album, I like to have Revolution 9 there because the album is so uh, versatile. There's so many different things on it. You might as well have a crazy avant garde track, too. But yeah, I don't go out of my way to play it unless there were times where I wanted to show people that didn't ever heard it how crazy it was. I'd put it on to show them that. Let's see. George Clooney killed the franchise. I think the movie killed the franchise, not so much the actor. But that's what he says. Yeah, Joel Schumacher killed the bad franchise, not Clooney. That's my opinion too. Worst Joker was Heath Ledger. Woodland Goblin says. Now, I feel sorry for Heath Ledger having died after doing the movie, but I saw that one with Heath Ledger, and I know they were going for something darker, but to me, the Joker was supposed to be wild and laugh. Ha ha ha. Caesar Romero was the Joker to me. I'm sorry. I don't know. What can I tell you? You know. And then somebody said, "Oh, we're coming to it." Yeah, here it is. Adam West was too camp. Yes, he was absolutely. See, I didn't know as a kid though. See, the thing is, I like it now. Camp. Some of the comic books were camp. The comic books from DC, some of them were campy at that point, were they not? In the '60s. So, if I'm not mistaken. So, okay, let's see. Okay, I love both Adam West and Michael Keaton as Batman without Kilmer coming in next. I don't know if I've seen Ben Affleck. Was he in the one with Heath Ledger? Good afternoon to Jerome. What's going on? Yeah, I haven't seen the latest Batman. I hear it's quite long too, but yeah, I agree with this. Adam West understood exactly what the producers were after and nailed it perfectly. Yeah, whether or not, see, guys, the funny thing is, as a kid, I thought it was too stupid, which it is. The Batman TV show from the '60s is too stupid. So as a kid, I didn't like it. Oh, this is so dumb. Now I realize that's the idea. It's supposed to be dumb. It's supposed to be silly and funny. You know. So, yeah, Mark. I don't know if I really love the Batman series though, but I do like, what like I said. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and too bad about the mustache with Caesar Romero for the Joker. Okay, Marcus never really bought Michael Keaton as a Batman. Never thought he was good enough looking to be Bruce Wayne naturally. Yeah, I hear you. Hello, Andy. I don't know the other. I don't know the second one, so I'm going to say Liverpool. Steve Ramsey, hello. Did you like the original Twilight Zone? I'm thinking about buying the DVDs, even though they're on TV a lot. I really do like the original Twilight Zone. I sure do. And I have, I think every season on DVD. And it's funny because I tried watching all of them. And like I do with a lot of shows, a lot of TV shows, TV series, I say I'm going to watch the whole thing. And I wind up starting and then I peter out and I never finish them all. But I do like Twilight Zone, even though it is on a lot. All righty. This is just a moment. I'm going to just remind people that, as I say, I'm doing these live stream Q&As every Saturday right now at 5 p.m. Now, next Saturday, next week, on the 18th, it's Paul's 80th birthday. And I'm currently trying to decide whether or not I'm going to come on here just by myself and do like a talk like this just about Paul, or am I going to have friends on, which is what I think I'm going to do. I don't know yet. The bottom line is I may or may not be here for this, but something will happen one way or the other. Don't know what it's going to be. Yeah, this whole thing, they're bringing Michael Keaton back as Batman in the new Flash. Is this one of those like multiverse thing ideas? I'm not a fan of that at all. If that's what the idea is, so I think somebody else told me, either it was you or someone else said this, and I just I never noticed that or thought that myself, that the melody from the original Batman sounded like the chorus to Taxman. I don't know. I feel the same way. I've seen enough of the superhero movies. Enough is enough. You can only do so much, and it's the same kind of thing all the time, over and over. That's how I feel. Okay, do I think that I'm due to listen to the Beatles stereo or mono mixes again? Like close to listen for the difference? I kind of know the differences already. I don't think I need to listen to them to learn or decipher the differences. I need them to listen to them maybe just to revisit them. All right, just going through here a little bit. No, did not watch. Did not watch that. Music Time says he's having an issue with the Let It Be box he recently got. I don't know what that is, but let us know. The DC movies are going to get a multiverse going. Whoopee! I hate that. Hate that multiverse nonsense. I guess I wouldn't mind a multiverse, but I just mean don't have different actors in there, as if all the Spider-Mans, all the Batmans, they're all supposed to be one and the same. One and the same. They're not supposed to be that they're different characters or different just because different actors played them over the years. Is Christopher Reeve the best Superman? Um, Christopher Reeve, the look of Christopher Reeve. I like the look of Christopher Reeve the best. I think he looks really good as Superman. I think as Clark Kent, he was a little too. I don't know. I don't like him as Clark Kent too much, too goofy. But my favorite Superman is George Reeves from the TV show. George Reeves, not Christopher Reeve. But of course, I'm partial. I admit it. I'm biased in some cases. I grew up with the Adventures of Superman on TV, but as I say, I don't think George Reeves was the best looking Superman in the role. Yeah, I think DC is trying to match the success of Marvel. I agree with you on that, Paulina. And Marvel is, I'm sorry to Doc Dacus, but make mine Marvel. I'm a Marvel fan. I like characters from DC. I like Superman. I like Batman. But the books themselves, the comic books when I was growing up, always Marvel was always more mature, more serious, more personal problems, more realistic. I always liked them a lot better. And I wonder if DC is trying to do like the Rolling Stones did to the Beatles. They're trying to copy everything. I don't know. Okay, I'm a little mixed up here myself. You found out about the wrong mix of the Get Back album later, and now I'm looking for the true mix. Was there a replacement offer anywhere from Apple? If anybody could answer that and help music time, I'd appreciate it because I can't really concentrate on that right now, and I don't know off the top of my head how to answer that. Let's see. Okay, Grantman watched the Beatles' induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the way Ringo was acting, I'm swear he was drunk. Was he sober then, or still on the booze? He was still drinking then, because the ceremony for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was January of 1988, and Ringo and his wife Barbara went into detox and to get sober later on in 1988. So technically, he was still drinking. I don't think he was that bad. I mean, the real jerk of that show was Mike Love, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame of '88. But yeah, so there you go. And Ringo, God bless him, has been sober since 1988, which is fantastic. He's in great shape and an inspiration to everyone. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on that. You got to help me out with that. It happens. I don't agree with this at all. You say you believe the early Beatles should be listened to in mono and the rest in stereo. I don't agree with that because some of the songs I like better in stereo and some of the songs I like better in mono. You could argue and say, well, the Beatles preferred this and they wanted you to listen this way or that way. Good for them. I go my own route. So that's how I do it. Let's see. I'm kind of lost here. I don't know why I'm lost. I can't find the quote. I think there's just too many. Oh, there it is. There's too many here. Anybody wants their comment to be seen, do a super chat. If you contribute, then I see your comment gets highlighted and rises to the top, and I can see it. That's another thing. So I'm sorry if I missed some of the comments. But I'll look. A lot of superhero movie talk. I'm sorry if I'm gonna go try to get caught up. Oh, well, see, the thing is, though, Doc, what I'm saying is for me, I don't, the idea of a multiverse in itself, I guess I don't mind a multiverse. What I have a problem with is specifically the actors all reappearing, like in the new Spider Man movie, the last Spider Man movie, as if, which I had the misfortune of seeing. And the idea that just because different actors played the character, it was like they were all different universes. That's silly. All right, something popped on the top, and guess what? I don't see it. It's Padge. Well, thank you very much, Padge. I appreciate that's euros, right? 490.99 euros, right? Thank you so much, Padge, for your support, for your super thanks. The reason I say I appreciate that because I didn't know for sure if I'm on StreamYard. I wanted to make sure that StreamYard works, and now I know it does, so we're good. Thank you so much, Padge. I appreciate that. Um, uh, wait a minute. I don't know if I should answer this or not. Um, well, I have most of it where it counts up here. That's the best I can say. So let's put it that way. You know, but I appreciate you trying something different. Okay. Favorite George album after All Things Must Pass. That would be Cloud Nine. Cloud Nine is my second favorite George album. Do I think that George Reeves was murdered? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, I've seen a little bit. I didn't watch that movie. What was the name of it? I forget. I know it was something Land, Hollywood Land. I didn't see that movie. I didn't see that movie, I should say. But yeah, that's what I. Yeah, I know what you mean, Mark. Ooh, what happened? Oh boy, just bear with me, folks. All right, I'm watching a few things here. Why didn't Paul show up to the Hall of Fame induction again? I know George had words to say about his absence. Well, back then, Paul felt like the Beatles were still involved in legal disputes, and while things were getting resolved, they weren't yet all the way resolved. So I think Paul felt that he felt like a hypocrite. Like if he went there and we stood there, hey guys, hey, we're all friends, hey, I love you, and all this kind of stuff, when actually they still weren't involved in legal battles, he felt that that would be insincere and wouldn't look right. That's what he said, if I understand it correctly. And George said, well, that kind of stuff was getting solved anyway. I mean, it's Paul's choice, in his defense. And if it was me, I would have said, "The hell with it. I'm going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame." Paul should have been there, in my opinion. But it's not me to say. It's his. It's for him. You know, top three guitar players. I mean, excluding the Beatles, I'm gonna go. I would say Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, maybe. From what I know, I was listening to some Jeff Beck the other day, and I thought it was good actually. But that's how I feel today. Ask me another time. See, let's see. Yeah, Ringo always does jumping jacks on stage. Yeah, exactly. You prefer the "Please Please Me" album in stereo over mono? Well, for me, it's some tracks I prefer. Like the song "Please Please Me," I prefer in mono because John doesn't make a mistake in mono. He makes a mistake he goofs up some of the words in the stereo version. You know. Okay. Which former Beatles solo work do I listen to the most? For you, it's Paul. With me, it's Paul too. Paul just has a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Let's see, I'm kind of like a lot of comments. I'm kind of getting. Yes, Paul went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist. Yes. Well, you can't figure these things out. And the look on Julian Lennon's face when Yoko said at the Hall of Fame that John would have been here. It's hilarious. It's like Julian suspects John would have skipped it. Well, I think Julian. If I don't know, I don't think we can tell just by the look on Julian's face if that's what he was thinking. But if he was thinking it, maybe he's putting his own personal, you know, animosities because of his childhood onto it. I don't know. Okay, I think I'm caught up. So stay on a little bit more. Got 101 people here now. You're not all Dalmatians, are you? Get it? Um, when am I going to start to sell off my collection? Maybe someday I will. Maybe I never will. Maybe I'll sell parts of it. I got myself covered. Either I may never sell anything. Maybe I'll sell the whole thing. Maybe I'll sell off parts of it. Who knows? Do I think the Deco edition tapes will ever be officially released on their own as a CD? Those things have been done to death. They've been done to death. So I don't know. Can I roller skate? Well, let me tell you, back in the day when I was 18, 19, 20. I skated up a storm. I could never skate backwards. You never mastered how to skate backwards. But yeah, I used to go to roller skating rinks with the music playing, with everybody, trying to meet girls and stuff, and I'd be roller skating in between everybody, speeding between on the around the rink. So yeah, yeah. Okay, David said, "Hi, David T. Next week, Paul is 80. Any expectations for this very special day?" Well, it's a busy day for me. First of all, the morning is also uh, record store day. So in the morning, I'm gonna go run around and try to get some stuff for record store day in the morning. Then in the afternoon, I've got to accompany my girlfriend somewhere. She's got something he has to go, and I got to be there. So I got to help her. Then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to come on here, but I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm going to try to do something for uh, Paul McCartney's 80th birthday here. I may have guests up here with me, but we're going to do something for Paul's 80th online on the 18th. But it'll be like nighttime. Well, late like now, Eastern time. I'm talking about late night or late afternoon, early evening. No, I definitely would not like to move to Manhattan. I don't think. But boy, I tell you, Doc, when I was in Manhattan the other day, as you could see by the video, I just got overwhelmed with it. I was expecting it when I went in there. I was expecting it to be crime ridden and to be very violent. And I was afraid because this is the stuff you hear a lot about now with New York City. I haven't been there in over 10 years or something. And I think the upside, Upper West Side, is fine. I think because I was in a good, nice location. I think, but and I know Clock Radio is going steady now, and I know what that is. That's from the Honeymooners. When we talked about roller skating, do I know how to roller skate? I was gonna do Ralph Cramden when he goes, roller skating," and he has to learn how to roller skate, and Jackie Gleason gets on the skates, and somebody in the live audience goes, "Steady now." That's what that is. What was the first I like questions like this, like, things that are different questions you never really heard. What was the first car you owned or driven? Well, the first car I ever owned was a 1973 Chevy Nova, used. I bought a used Chevy Nova when I was 21. 73 Chevy Nova. First car I ever drove was a '74 Mustang. My mother had a '74 Mustang, and that was the first car that I ever drove. That's not true. No, that's not true. The first car I ever drove was in driving class in high school, and I don't remember what that was. It was some kind of I don't know, old person's car. I don't really know. Best Paul B-side. There's so many of them. The first one that always comes to mind for me is the song "Oh Woman, Oh Why." But I'm going to say "Girls' School" also. I think "Girls' School." Do not have any Yardbirds albums. I don't believe. No, I like some of their stuff, but I don't have any albums. Oh, on King of Queens, when Kevin James played a tune on his gut, were you able to recognize it as "I Love Rock and Roll"? I think I was. I'm trying to remember it now. He played. My thoughts on Smile is that the one time I was on a late night chat on YouTube with somebody, not mine, somebody else's, and he was playing Smile, and I hated everything that I heard on it. Didn't do it for me. But I never heard the whole thing. But why would I if I just didn't like what I was hearing anyway? You know, Gratitude is a scary song, man. Well, it's one of Paul's worst, I think. One of Paul's worst songs, I think. Okay, I'm going to start wrapping this up a little bit, folk, in a little bit. I think pretty right about now. I'm going to wrap this up. So, yeah, this is it. Questions still coming in. Will you see again Ringo for next tour? Yep, I would go again. I will, I will hope that next time, through any luck, he has a different band, only because he's been with this band for 10 years. I like this band. I like the songs, most of them, but I don't want to see it only this band, you know? Okay, so I'm going to go now, folks. I'm sorry. I only keep these about an hour on. And I say next Saturday, we're going to try to do this again. Only next Saturday is going to be Paul McCartney's 18th. On the 18th, it's going to be Paul's 80th birthday milestone, and I'm probably going to do something with other people coming up here, like guests and things like that. So I see Al Ricky just popped here. Sorry, Ricky, just about an hour, 2 minutes a little late. I gotta go. I do like some Sex Pistols, not a lot, but some. And that's that. So join me next week. I'm going to be doing something for Paul. We'll see. We'll see what it's going to be. All right, folks. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it, and talk soon.